come back to our own country, India. What makes India a federal country? We are using this word that India is a federation, but actually when we got independence and India emerged as an independent nation after a painful and bloody partition, see, after independence, so many princely states also joined Indian Union. So when our constitution was formed, when it was enforced in 1950, it declared India as a union of states. Yes, India is a union of states. Indian Union is based on the principle of federalism. Yes, this is the very different term that we use. Why I am using this, why I am telling you this, because this can come in the examination for 1 mark also. Okay, that India is known as the union of states and it is based on the principle of federalism. Okay, so now again we'll go back to our 7 features. If you have understood those 7 features, I'll just go back to those 7 features, then it will be very easy for you to understand what makes India a federal country. Just have a quick recap of all the features. 2 or more levels of government, separate jurisdiction, guarantee of the constitution for separate jurisdiction, amendment to the constitution, interpretation of the constitution, sources of revenue and dual objectives. Now we will see all these features present in our own country, and that makes India a federal country. Okay, so first we'll begin with 2 or 3 levels of government. Yes, first is 2 or 3 levels of government, I told you, known as vertical division of powers. The union, state and the local level. That is 2 or 3 levels of government, and this is very much present in our country. That is why India is a federal country. Next, division of powers. Now comes the union list, state list, concurrent list and residuary subjects. Now what do you mean by these 3 lists of subjects? See, our constitution has clearly divided the powers between center and state. Okay, as far as the matter of legislation, that is laws, and matter of taxation and administration, we have separate system for center, separate subjects for center and the state. Now union list, it means the subjects on which only the center government will make law. In the union list we have 99 subjects. Yes, now what are those subjects? Subjects like foreign affairs, defense, banking, communication and currency. We want same currency for the entire country. Yes, we want this uniform currency, and there are defense matters, foreign affairs, on all these matters. Why we included these subjects under union list? There is a reason behind it. What is that reason? The reason is we want uniform policy, the same policy for entire country on these matters. That is why such subjects are included under union list, and on these subjects, it means the law on foreign affairs, currency or communication, the laws are to be made by the Union Parliament. Laws are to be made by Union Parliament. Yes, now comes the state list. State list, as the name suggests, the state legislature, yes, will make laws, and there are 66 subjects in state list. And who is making law? The state legislature. Now we'll talk about the subjects. The subjects which only concerns the state government, state people, that is police. Do you remember that we have different type of uniform, different color uniform for police in different states. Remember West Bengal, they have white color uniform because it is a state subject. Yes. Then trade, commerce, agriculture and irrigation. Why I am just telling you these name of these subjects, because this can be asked as a one marker in CBSE board examination. They might ask you that this subject, agriculture, comes under which list. So you need to know the answer, that is the state list. Okay. Now comes the third list, known as concurrent list. It has 47 subjects. Okay, but here there is one difference. Now, who will make laws on these subjects? Actually, under concurrent list, they are the subjects which are concerning the center as well as the state, which concern the country as well as the state also. That is why we will find the subjects which are of both importance. For example, education. Yes, we have CBSE, that is for the entire country the same policy. Then we have the state board also, have different syllabus. Yes, so for education we have the union laws, we have the state laws also. So this particular subject concern center as well as state. Okay, then we have a forest, we have trade unions, marriage, adoption and succession. So these matters concern the center as well as state. So it comes under concurrent list. Now there can be a problem. What problem? When both the governments are entitled to make law, there might be a situation of conflict. Yes, then what will happen in that conflict? Both the government, the center government and the state government, they have a right to make laws on concurrent list. Then what will happen to resolve, what will happen or what should be done to resolve such conflict? Now in this case, center has more power than the state government. The law, yes, the law made by the union government will prevail. Yes, to avoid that conflict or to resolve that matter, the center law will prevail. So under concurrent list, we have seen center enjoys more powers than the states. Okay. Now there are fourth list, we call it residuary subjects. Now the subjects which are not mentioned in any of the three lists, namely union, state and concurrent. At the time of constitution, when this constitution was made, there were three lists. They have made three lists and they have divided the subjects in these three lists according to their importance. But what happened? Some new subjects that come up with the development of the country. So subjects which are not included in any of the three lists, namely union, state and concurrent, such subjects will be included in the residuary list of subjects. And now who will make laws? Okay, there is no fixed number of this list because it just keeps on increasing. Okay, so under this list, the central government, the union government have a right to make laws on residuary subjects. For example, computer software. At the time of constitution, when our constitution was made, computers was not there. So this is a new subject and not there in the union, state and concurrent. So this subject is included under residuary subjects, and the central government have a right to make laws on such subjects. So that makes India a federal country. Now next, special powers or provisions for some states in India. Yes? Remember in the holding together federation which is there in India, I told you that the center is more powerful and even some states enjoy some special powers. For example, Jammu and Kashmir. Under Article 370, yes, they have their own constitution, okay. They have their provisions of the Indian constitution which are not applicable. The provisions which are there for the entire country, they are not applicable for this state and without the approval of the state assemblies. And Indians who are not the permanent residents of Jammu and Kashmir, they cannot buy land or house here. So we seen that some special powers enjoyed by some states. Apart from this, there are some other units of the Indian Union which enjoy very little power. These are known as union territories. They are, which are union territories? These areas like Chandigarh, Lakshadweep or the capital city of Delhi. They are called union territories. These union territories, they do not have the powers of the state. See, they are not that big enough to be constituted as a state. Yes, that is why they have been called as union territories. So these areas which are too small to become an independent state, but which could not be merged with any of the existing state. So such union territories, they are being governed by central government. But yes, there is a provision, that these union territories like Delhi, we have a state assembly for the governance of Delhi properly. Central government wants to reduce the burden of their work, so they have made, after an amendment in the constitution, a legislative assembly in Delhi. Okay, that is special powers or provisions for some states in India. Now, amendment to the constitution. Remember when we were discussing the features of the constitution, there we discussed that the fundamental provisions cannot be changed unilaterally. For every change in the constitution, they need to get approval by the at least 2/3 majority of the states. That has to be passed by them. Then it has to be rectified by the legislatures of at least half of the total states. So central government alone cannot make changes. They need to get the approval of state governments also. That makes India a federal country. Okay. Now we have independent courts and interpretation of the constitution. Remember, in the features I told you that when there is a presence of center and state, there might be conflicts. But who will solve such conflicts? For that we have a federal court. Which is the federal court? The apex court. Remember, Supreme Court is the apex court of India, which solves the cases of these center and state government or between two state governments. Okay. So, and under such cases, remember I told you, they have original jurisdiction. It means the cases comes directly before the Supreme Court. Okay. So that makes India a federal country. Last, that makes India a federal country is independent resources. Remember, in the features I told you that the center and the state, they have their own resources. They have their own financial resources. Yes, they have their own finances to carry on the administration and developmental functions of their particular region, particular area. For the country, for the state, we have independent sources of revenue. So, with that, we come to an end of our another question, a very important question, that what makes India a federal country? Just have a quick recap. 2 or more levels of government, division of powers, special powers or provisions for some states in India, amendment to the constitution. independent courts and interpretation of the constitution, and last, independent resources. So, and all these features are present in our country. That is why India is a federal country. India is a union of states based on the principle of federalism. Okay.
Now, subscribe to Bright Tutee course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Tutee app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Tutee courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Tutee follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutee and avail your courses at affordable prices.